Marketing methods. So we're going to go over the most effective, most efficient, basically the best way that's going to get you the most money in the shortest amount of time. Or we're going to try to do so anyway.
Exactly. So obviously, there's so many marketing methods when it comes to OFM. Literally, I could list them off, but I probably don't have enough fingers. So it is very confusing trying to find the best one or what ones to start off with as a new model or experience model. It's so much shit you don't know. So we're just going to briefly run through a few things just to be able to help you out. So best ones to start off with. What
Yeah.
do you reckon?
Well, depends on the type of model. So as Toby's saying, there's so many fucking marketing methods, and there is unlimited options when it comes to marketing. If you find success marketing on LinkedIn or Pinterest, good for you. And if you find success sticking with the more conventional methods like dating apps or TikTok or whatever it is, then obviously good as well. It all depends on the type of model. So the type of model that would be ideal for TikTok, for example. TikTok, I think, is great.
Mm.
It's the best way to get the most amount of eyes on your model in the shortest amount of time if you've got the right model for it. Now, if you've got a model that is 4 out of 10 and you're getting her to do shitty trends on TikTok, is she going to get those fucking views?
No one wants to watch that shit. So she might be slightly better on like shit. What other platforms? Like exactly,
Yeah,
because there's a lot of fucking weirdos on there. Which there's so many things that I could have listed out. Reddit, fucking. Um, there's so many fucking weirdos on there which just love looking at. They're just curious. I'd say they're curious is probably a good way to say it. So they go on there, love Reddit. But saying if they are fucking great looking model or even a dancer, so they can move well. TikTok is brilliant because obviously it's all dancing, it's all moving, a lot of views very quickly, and yeah, very good way to get people in, especially if you're going to start doing TikTok lives. That's definitely a good one. But then obviously your model's got to be comfortable with that, and a lot of models aren't.
yeah. So you can either have a model that just follows trends and she can bang out as much content as you want, like 9 TikToks a day on different accounts, and that'll work perfectly. You get plenty of eyes on, you get loads of content out, and yeah, just great way to get eyes on. But you can also have the influencer type model. Now, this is a type of model that people just like her personality. She's a bit outgoing. She knows how to actually play the game when it comes to social media marketing, and she's comfortable speaking to a camera. So things like TikTok lives or general just like vlogging on TikTok, shit like that, absolutely perfect for this type of model. But not every girl's like that. So you got to sort of analyze what your models actually, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. Are they good looking? Are they bad looking? Do they appeal to the sort of audience that someone on TikTok would want to look at? And are they good at speaking? Comfortable with it, especially? And or are they just good at following trends, hard work, banging out loads of content?
Like you said, it is all about the model. And you may think, oh yeah, but all these strategies they're going to work. They will work, but it's just how well they will work depending on the model. Now, a lot of models don't want to go on Instagram or TikTok lives and just start chatting bollocks. Understandable. And a lot of models that wouldn't even work anyway, because like we said, they might not meet the specification for that to go successful. But you've got to realize not every model that you're ever going to own is going to be top 0.1%. It's just not going to happen. If it's some big fat cunt that isn't too attractive, you could possibly get them to like 5%. That's pretty good. But a lot of the time, you're not likely going to get them for 0.1, unless, like I said, they are like a fucking
Yep,
TikTok model star or influencer. Even
yep.
if they are influencer, they might not look great, but if they're an influencer, then they could have potential to be able to reach them higher levels or lower percentages, which is great. But you've got to be very adaptive with marketing. And if the model don't want to do it, don't make them do it. However, you can do different things. If they don't want to go on TikTok, you can get them on Instagram doing a few things. They might build their confidence, be a bit more educated in how to talk to a camera or how to just communicate across social media, and then they might think about doing TikTok. It's just a bit of time.
Yeah, I agree. And the truth is that we can't just sit here on YouTube and tell every single one of you, oh, this marketing method works. This is what you need to be doing, because it is just depending on your experience and obviously the model's experience as well. And obviously, you can't just stick all your models on TikTok because not every model is susceptible to be marketed on TikTok. As simple as that. And I think there's a lot of confusion when it comes to top models and getting a model to 0.1%, because as Toby said, not every model can actually do that. it's not realistic. It is possible, but not realistic. So a lot of people just look for that big shiny model that they're going to get to 0.1%. But remember, that comes with a lot of work. You're going to need a huge team to run a model that is 0.1%. Whereas you can have multiple models on top 3 or 5%, and you can be making just as much money with a lot less work. Also, it's more realistic probably for their looks and their standards and the way they
Exactly
want to
that.
market.
And as well, if you ever went on a top models account, so 0.1% or even 1%, you go on their accounts, not just their OnlyFans, you go look at all their social medias. You probably be able to find them on every single platform. And if you think you can manage every single platform from ground zero all the way up to top 0.1% for any model, you're, you're fucking delusional. You could do it with millions of dollars and it would be very hard. However, do you have that? Probably not. Have you got the time to do that? Probably not. So there's different ways to start off with a model. For example, if they were not the best looking, didn't want to go talk to cameras, they could go to Reddit. Reddit would be a good start because, like we said, unusual people like that. She's going to build a bit of an audience on Reddit, and then maybe she could start on Instagram. Get an Instagram going, then people from Reddit can go across their Instagram. You've already got an audience there, and you've just increased the amount of range for your customers. Because obviously, there's a whole new audience on Instagram. So then you get a bit more there, and things like that. It's just going to slowly progress at different speeds, definitely.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I agree. And people try to do it all by themselves.
yeah,
And
don't
that's
do
not
that.
your role as a
A
business
manager.
owner or a manager. You're meant to hire staff, give them a role to do. So, oh yeah, this staff member is doing Reddit. This one is focusing on Twitter, whether that be for just one model. If you have a very high percentage model, obviously take more admin. So you can just have one staff member sitting on their Twitter all day doing all that shit. And that is what a lot of the top models do. They just have loads of staff which will manage every aspect of that. And then, yeah, they'll pay them however.
Yeah, because that's what a smart OnlyFans model would be doing, is getting outsourcing their social medias. However, they might not know that. They may not know how to do that. They don't know how to select certain people. That's why an OFM manager comes in. So rather than keeping your model stupid and keeping them on your payroll, or let's say, or you on their payroll, however you see it, you want to kind of teach them how to do things and how to outreach and how to do all this, because there's going to come a time where you may not be able to get at any higher percentage. You can come into OnlyFans and you can say, I'm going to improve you. Don't go up to them and say, I'm going to get you to the 1%. Say, I'm going to improve you. And you start improving their account, making them a lot better. But let's say they get to 5%. Now, you can't get them any further because just their general personality, what they're willing to do, X, Y, Z. You can't get them any further. So, however, you can get other models further because you have the knowledge to be able to do so. So, if you then just left your model, say, yeah, I can't get you any higher here, done, leave them, they're going to be fucked. And they're not going to like you, they're going to leave bad reviews for you, all of that. But if you teach them how to run their own, how to be an OFM manager, then they're going to be able to do it when you leave. And then you can leave. You maybe say, "Oh, I still want to keep 10%, but I've taught you how to do all of this. I've built you this much, but I'm leaving to go do another model because I know that I can get that model to top 0.1." So it's kind of come into it to improve the model, educate the model, and then leave, rather than going into it saying, "I'm going to get you to the top 0.1%," and then you can't even get into 10% because they're fucking fat gopping cunts.
Especially if you've never done it before. Like people saying,
Yeah,
"Oh, I'm going to scale you to 10k per month in the first month." People say that all the time in their outreach message, and obviously a model's looking at that thinking, "Fucking hell,
yeah,
I'm in the
mega.
money." But realistically, you're just a cunt who's never even touched an OnlyFans account before. You don't understand the game, so you're not going to be able to do that. Stop making false promises. The idea with OnlyFans and any business, in fact, is to underpromise and overdeliver, because then you're just going to get a way better product out of that. Also, you're going to get a happier customer. So you're going to basically build loyalty with the model. They're going to want to stay if you're actually making them money, and if they're seeing improvements, whether that be in followers or money or whatever that be, they're going to be happy.
Exactly. And like I was saying earlier, if you are training them up to be self sufficient, that's going to take years. So don't worry too much about losing out on profits because that's going to take ages. And by the time you get to that point where she's ready to leave, you're probably going to have loads of other different options going. And if she does want to leave, then that's fine. You can still use her as a way to get new models in, because you built it to such a significant size. It's got some sort of gravitational pull for other models to come in and be like, oh yeah, where's your manager? What's your manager? So I wouldn't worry too much about the losses of your model leaving when they're very educated, because that takes time. But marketing them, yeah, like Kyle said, keep your promises. Make sure you market well. Make sure you market and remember how to market that model in that specific area. Because if you never touch Reddit because your model is not specifically
Made for Reddit
yeah, specifically made for Reddit, you might not know how to market on Reddit. So that's why you have a diverse group of models, so you can then learn each different area and then put it all together. Bosh.
Yeah.
Fucking 1%.
Learn the fucking game, learn your trade, and actually know what you're doing. That's the best way to progress in any business.
Gone off point a bit,
Yep.
talking about the best marketing methods, but yeah, that kind of covers most of it with marketing methods and all of this. But there's definitely some new ones rolling in that aren't very well heard of. Things like Snapchat. People don't really know much about Snapchat. The Reddit method, people know about it, but they don't do it very efficiently.
Yeah, agreed.
They just start posting. They don't use any. So you probably do want to get on some bots and stuff like that if you are on Reddit. We can, if you want to ask us, we can provide you with that bot. I believe we've got one or two.
Yeah, we got a couple brilliant Reddit bots.
We know guys anyway. And yeah, so things like these, well, most of them are on a Snapchat anyway, so you can have a little look on that. But when you come to a method, don't just do them all at once. Try, yeah, like we said, learn one, do one specifically for that model, and then progress. Otherwise, you're just gonna get nowhere. If you're personally trying to manage 5 accounts on 2 different platforms, then you're fucked. So,
yeah,
exactly.
Pretty much. That's marketing. There you go.
Marketing in a fucking jar, mate.
Little lesson.
But yeah, if you did want to have some of them resources, give us a message or put in the comments, whatever. Most of it's on our page, like we were saying. But yeah, stick to the fundamentals and don't be a cunt.
Important point.
Huh?
Important.